Hello, welcome to Magical Manifestations. My name is Jenna B. Neece. I'm an author, meditation lover, and chronic anxiety sufferer. I'll be your guide on this journey. My mind often gets too busy, so this podcast aims to remove you from reality and let you drift far away into the mundane yet beautiful lands of magical manifestations. Fly on a dragon. Visit a magic teashop. Befriend a fairy. The options are endless. I'm sure there's something for everyone here. Each episode contains 4 parts. Let me open with a brief introduction, tell you what the story is about, guide you through a few short and calming breaths, and then lead you into a state of calmness. Let yourself come and go as you please. Dozing or napping is fine. We always welcome calmness and sleep here. And when you're ready, I'll always welcome you home. A little note to the listeners before we begin. If you are enjoying this podcast, please consider leaving me a review and subscribing or following on your chosen platform. Maybe recommend it to a friend, coworker, or relative you think might benefit from it. I'd love to have them, and the more support I receive, the more stories I can provide you with. If you're so inclined as to monetarily support my podcast, visit magicalmanifestationspodcast.substack.com. If you're listening to this in the month of September 2024, a subscription is currently half off, making it only $2.50 a month or $25 for the whole year. That's less than a cup of coffee. In this story, you bravely venture into forbidden territory of a forest that's off limits to all. You're searching for something. Yourself. The rumored house in the woods that everyone whispers about. Just searching. What you don't know is what you'll find when you go through a magic veil, and inside, there is more than you ever imagined. And it's nothing like the rumors. Okay, it's time to let everything go. Let's get relaxed now. Let's set the mood for calmness. Find a quiet place in which to take a comfortable seat or lie down. Close your eyes. Breathe patiently and fully, yet gently and quietly. In and out through your nose. Now, take a deep breath in and out. Let yourself sink into the chair or bed, wherever you are. Feel the points of contact and relax into them. Take another deep breath in and out. Let your eyes close if they're not yet. One more time. Deep breath in and out. If you get sleepy while I'm reading, that's just fine too. Just breathe and relax. You squint into the darkness as you stand at the edge of the dirt path that leads into the forbidden woods. The smell of pine and musty earth swirls up around you, cloaking you in their perfume, permeating your very skin. The late afternoon air, warm and thick, sticks the shirt to your back. You stand there, listening and thinking. You can hear birds singing loudly, but there is nothing sinister. You don't know what you expected. Maybe you thought that you'd see a monster lurking. Maybe you expected a sign that said, "Come this way for all the fun." You didn't expect it to look completely ordinary in every possible way. You peer closer into the darkness of the tree cover, and you see the slightest outline of a faint footprint in the faded dirt. As you quickly step forward to investigate, you see they're relatively small. They must be that of a child or a woman. No man you've ever seen has feet that small. This piques your curiosity even more. You remember what people whisper. There are rumors about an old house, likely abandoned, deep within these woods. People say lots of crazy things about it. They say sometimes it's shrouded in mist. They also say it must be haunted. These days, anything unusual is said to be filled with spirits, though. You doubt the truth of the haunting, because ghosts don't leave footprints, and people also claim they see footprints leading all the way down the path to the house. But people can be cruel, you know, but your town is better than most. People care about each other. You just don't always fit in, not with your secret. You think for a moment. You take a deep breath in, letting the air fully expand your lungs and abdomen. You hold it for just a beat, then exhale long and slowly. Your eyes scan the trees for signs of life. No one is permitted to enter these woods. There was a time people got hurt and lost, so they were deemed too dangerous. These people weren't expert navigators, and though they are forbidden, they can't exactly punish you for entering. And if you don't get caught, well, your curiosity gets the best of you, and you head into the trees. Nothing scares you much. The magic in your veins protects you thoroughly enough that it would take a mighty evil to outmatch you. As you traipse into the woods, heading deeper, you hear nothing but the benign sounds of nature and your footsteps crunching in the quiet. Being different is hard. It makes you feel alone at times. You've been looking for something for a very long time. As you wander the path, you feel like you are drawing closer to finding it, whatever it is. You smile to yourself. You used to love going on adventures, but as you grew older, you had less time and opportunity to do such. So today you have decided to embrace that youth and dive into the forbidden woods. Ready or not, here you come. There's something exhilarating as you move deeper and deeper into the woods. The forbidden feels freeing. To give in and do something you probably shouldn't be doing. Occasionally, that's not such a bad thing. You just need limits, you think. Your secret feels less large as you get away from the population of people in your village. It feels okay. It feels safe. You can just be you. If you get to the house and sense danger, you'll turn back. You promise yourself that. The green, thick branches hang low over the path to almost hide it, and you keep ducking to avoid knocking your head on the way. But the green leaves brush your face, permeating your senses with pure nature smells. It's comforting. No matter how much nature changes, the changes are consistent and predictable, like the seasons. You like that about nature. You feel the earth squishing slightly under your shoes, and you work to step lighter as you keep moving deeper into the forest. When you pause, after a few minutes, you see a doe walking by a little ways away. She seems utterly at peace. She pauses when she spots you, and you make eye contact for a long moment before she shoots off into the distance, running for safety. She is beauty and grace personified, but to her, you are danger. You aren't a threat to her, but she doesn't know that. You keep walking, and you reach a small stream. You're getting warm, so you bend down, scoop the cool water into your hands, and splash it on your skin. The feeling of the water slicking down your face feels like waking up after a long night of sleep. Peaceful and refreshing. After you splash the water another time or two, you stand, look around, and hop nimbly through the water by using a couple stepping stones you notice. As you move deeper, there's less and less light peeking through the canopy above, so it makes it hard for you to judge how long you've been walking for. But you keep going all the same. You aren't turning back now. The adventure is too much temptation to let go of. Along the way, you run into lots of furry woodland creatures. A squirrel is tracking your steps as you walk, scurrying around near you. A wolf crosses your path, but seems not to mind your presence. But the most magical is when a group of fairies zoom right by you, stop for just a second, glitter floating down off their wings, and look at you as if you were the most curious thing in the world. Then they beat their little wings and speed away, leaving a trail of pixie glitter in their absence. You smile after them. Fairies are one of your favorite little creatures, but they are shy and tend to hide deep in wooded areas to avoid people at all cost. Unless they're town fairies, of course. Town fairies live in magical communities and aren't shy at all. But you don't live in a magical community. You hide in plain sight in a non-magical village. You shake yourself out of your thoughts. You breathe in deeply, watching the glitter drift to the ground. Then you exhale slowly and start walking again. The foliage gets thicker, denser as you keep moving. It's almost unpassable when you trip over a tree root and you go sprawling on the ground. The damp soil collides with your hands, softening your landing so it barely smarts. You pull yourself up and dust your hands off on your pants. More carefully now, you edge forwards, little by little. After a few moments, you see it in the distance. The house is large, 2 stories tall, and in deep disrepair. A stiff wind could knock it over by the looks of it. But in your opinion, it looks inhabited. There is a light on the porch, though you suspect it's a magical light. It glows different than a fire or electricity. You keep walking, not sure what you'll do when you get there. Not many make it this far without being unnerved and turning around. There's some enchantment at work, you're sure of it. As you get closer, you take in the chipped paint and rickety-looking steps that lead to the porch. Something seems off about this. Your stomach flops nervously. You creep closer and closer, and suddenly you step through a magical barrier of some kind. You feel the popping in your ears, almost like changing altitudes quickly. But when you finish shaking your head a little, you see the house looks completely different. Okay, not completely. It's still a 2-story house, but it has a beautiful baby blue and cream paint job that is pristine. The light on the porch is an orb, floating in midair. The door is a dark navy blue, and as you approach, you notice the porch is in perfect condition. It looks like it could come right out of a storybook, picturesque even. You cannot help but feel confused, but you aren't upset. The hair on your arms is prickling up, responding to the magic. You're intrigued by the house. Clearly magical, it appears it protects itself by looking forbidden and foreboding, unless you're brave enough to draw quite close. You're many things, including brave. You are kind. You are curious. You are strong. You are persistent. But now, you are determined. You have to know who lives here. You have to know more. With a little hesitation, you knock on the big door. For a moment, you hear nothing. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe no one lives here. Then you hear footsteps, and the door is flung open by a woman you know. Not well, but you still know her. She comes to town to sell her goods a few times a month, and she always seems so ordinary. She beams at you. There are crinkles at the corners of her eyes, a sign of many smiles in her past. She looks like bottled sunshine, and you feel yourself relax, shoulders sagging slightly. Come in. I see you are both brave at heart and strong in spirit to get through my enchantment. I guess I am, you say. You step through the door into an immaculate living room of sorts. A fireplace is on one wall, a cauldron in front of it. A smell of spices, herbs, and something you can't quite place fills the air. Comfy chairs are placed all around and nearby, and for some reason, you want to curl up in one. If you made it through, you are, she says. Yes. Yes, I am, you say more firmly this time, feeling it inside you. Welcome to my home. You are welcome, but I will always keep a spot for you, powerful one. You look around the room, smile at the cozy warmth filling you up, and say, thank you. I'm sure you're wondering what's next. I am, you admit. You train with me. Magic needs refining. All who wonder aren't lost, but all that are lost wonder. But you are found. And suddenly, you aren't lost. You feel a burning fire in your veins. You are where you belong. You turn and shut her front door. You are home. Thank you for listening. This was a Magical Manifestations production by Jenna B. Neece. Please remember to subscribe and review the episode. It means the world to me.